Proudly broadcasting from the Richard Philip Cavallaro studio.
WRHU.
Hempstead.
You discovered.
A cornerstone of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication.
WRHU.
Hello, screeners. We're back again.
You're listening to The Screening Room on 88.7 FM Radio Hofstra University.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Say hello to my new friend.
Join us as we talk about all things pop culture,
Hollywood news,
And entertainment.
Well, I'm feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
screeners buckle up.
and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Screening Room on WRHU. I am your host, Michael Albrecht, joined by my co-host, Brandon Moy. Also in the studio is Abby Gibson, Jamie Yost, Donovan Ellis, and Tommy Saxa.
On today's show, we'll discuss the upcoming Shrek 5, our picks for the Oscars, and all the latest entertainment news.
For more on our show, follow us on Instagram at Screening Room WRHU.
That's right. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. I hope you're all doing great this morning. How we feeling?
Good morning.
Feeling okay?
Man, we're just eager for this Sunday morning, aren't we?
Yeah.
Tired, but I'm excited to be here.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
We had, as we call it on Long Island, false spring.
Yeah.
This last
Fall spring.
Wait, since when was that a thing?
like forever. You're
I'm
from Long Island.
I'm from Long Island and I've never heard that.
Yeah, we got
Maybe
like
it's
two
a
fall
Nassau
springs.
County thing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a Suffolk girl.
All right. Well, why don't we get started this morning by talking about some things we've been watching this week? Has anyone been up to something good, Jamie?
So there's a movie called Culpa Mia, and it's a Spanish romance movie, and they made one for London. So now there's one called My Fault London. So I had to watch it because I loved the original. I think it's hard to choose which one is better. I think I like the original better, but there were some scenes that the London version did better. But if you haven't watched it, go watch My Fault London.
All right.
Yes,
Sounds interesting.
it is. It's very good. It's also a book, which I have not read yet.
Oh, okay.
Working on it.
There's like a series though where they make like a different love story in every kind of continent.
No, because with the original, there's two of them. There's Culpa Mia and Culpa Toya. And it's the same couple, just extending their story. So the first one kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger. And then the second one continues the story. This is just an English version of it with actors that aren't speaking in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
It's very similar story. I think there were slight changes to it, but it's not really different romances. It's the same characters, just different actors, basically.
Interesting. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Tommy?
Well, personally, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to catch up on Oscars. Because that's my thing. So I kind of sat down, locked myself in a room for a while, and I watched Nickel Boys. I'm still here, and it's half the Brutalist. I couldn't get through. I got to the intermission.
It's pretty long.
It's brutal.
That was a whole
genuinely.
movie in itself, the first half.
Yeah, exactly. But
Did you have a favorite of those?
Substance. That's my favorite movie of the year.
Cool.
I'll hopefully talk about that later when
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
the
talk
Oscars.
more.
But really great lineup this year, genuinely, for Best Picture.
I actually agree with you. I think there are a lot of good movies. Last year, I think we had some very clear favorites, and this year, I think there's a lot.
Last year was a little bit skewed in terms of what was there was a lot of quality and poor quality. It was just kind of ranging far, but really solid lineup. Even we got some blockbusters like Dune Part 2, a horror movie on there. Really solid picks, genuinely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Seems
got
like
some
a range.
musicals, some action,
Some art house
comedy.
cinema.
Yeah.
No, we got other picks. I finally got to the theaters after a long time.
Yeah.
Finally had time. And I saw a movie that many of you saw 3 weeks ago.
Wicked.
Not Wicked. I saw, oh my God, really?
Moana 2?
No, I do need to watch that. I might watch that this upcoming week. I finally saw Captain America Brave New World.
Ah.
How was it?
I really liked it.
I
thought it
need
was good.
all of the opinions right now.
I really liked it. I thought it was a good, a good spy thriller that also was still, it reminded me a lot of Winter Soldier a little bit, because it was more down to earth but it still had the Hulk. Spoilers for that movie, I guess, even though it was in the trailer.
Crazy.
Well, not exactly the Hulk.
It was okay.
A.
Well,
A.
it's funny. You kind of bring up a good point, actually, because like the Hulk is almost framed as like a surprise the whole time, but he was
But, like,
marketed
he's in
more
the
than a Captain
trailer.
America
Well,
himself.
literally.
Well, here's the yes, and I think that was a big draw. But I think how he became the Hulk, how he became the Red Hulk, is not really revealed in the trailers, and you don't. That's like one of the bigger surprises. And the whole thing with the Big Bad and Sidewinder and Serpent Society, all of that is not revealed in the trailers. That's revealed in the movies. And I don't know. I liked the whole layering of the plot and like trying to figure out like what the conspiracy was. Like I like that. I like the political nature of it.
You know, and yeah, the way it built to that finale was pretty cool. But to be fair, like as an MCU fan, like did they really expect you to know the plot of a movie that happened like 14 years ago? That was the Incredible Hulk.
Because Marvel fans are crazy.
They kind of are.
Yes.
I've never seen that brain guy before in my life, legitimately.
Well, because he's from a movie that almost nobody has seen from like 2009 that everybody forgot about.
Which is almost like from a different
The
universe.
Incredible Hulk.
Horrible.
Which they've been talking
2009.
about more recently
think.
in like She-Hulk and some other bad things. But they
wanna
brought
make it a thing.
they brought him back. They brought a character. I can say it. They brought the leader back.
At this point, pretty much everyone knows it.
They brought the leader back.
They but like nobody
Abby
knows
just
the
has
leader.
no idea. What
Abby
we're
has no
talking
idea what we're
about.
talking about. But yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. So I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd.
Oh.
You have a Letterboxd?
I do.
Follow me after.
Okay,
Yeah,
everybody
that.
follow me and Tommy. on
And Thomas.
Letterboxd.
I use a
on
different app.
Letterboxd. Thank you.
Which app do you use?
Jamie's not a fan.
It's called TV Time.
I also
So,
use that.
Yes, it's
Oh, I've never
not
heard
just
of this.
movies. Is Letterboxd just movies?
Letterboxd is
Letterboxd
just
gets a lot
Yeah.
of TV shows.
It
It
on
does
there,
get a
though.
lot of TV shows, but they're like limited series, you know.
Like Cowboy Bebop. Like,
Yeah.
Something all like one season. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have TV Time, and I like tracking both TV and movies all the time. So that's what I use.
Wow. I might have to use that. That's pretty cool.
It's good.
I just watched the first third of the new Wallace and Gromit movie.
I love that
First
so much.
third.
Delightful,
First third.
legitimately.
Yeah, I didn't get through it all yet. It was interesting. I've never seen one of them before, and I know everyone's like obsessed with them for some reason. But it was fun. It was interesting.
Well,
I don't-
Wallace and Gromit has been around for like I think a couple of decades now.
Yeah,
if I'm not
it's
mistaken.
old.
Also,
It's very
like it got to the point where like even the clay, like the company try and get the clay for their animations just shut down.
Yeah.
So I am worried about how future installments in the Wallace and Gromit universe is going to happen.
Is it the last one? We'll have to find out.
I'm in probably the minority by saying this. I do not like that animation style.
Really?
I don't like that. I like claymation. I don't like that kind of claymation.
Okay. Interesting. I
I
thought
don't like,
the
I don't like the way it looks.
I think the best part is Feathers McGraw, because it's such a menacing character, and it's just a penguin without any facial expression.
And no dialogue either.
Yep.
It's just like what his actions and like what he
Yeah.
does.
He's
Like,
the most evil character I've ever seen.
he's legitimately scary, especially in like the wrong trousers. I would go back and watch those old like Wallace and Gromit shorts. He's in them pretty prominently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah. I'll have to check those
He-
out.
he's like a legacy that they brought back.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have something interesting to watch? Donovan?
For writer's room class, I basically watched the first season of Sex Lives of College Girls.
Oh my god, I started that, and then I lost my subscription.
Oh, God,
I
unfortunate.
need to watch that because I'm also in that class, but I am going to look for YouTube videos that explain the entire plot of the first 3 seasons.
You are a
It actually
coward.
like was pretty good when I watched like the first episode.
I'm sure it's great. I don't have time to watch an entire series in 3
Also
days.
real.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to watch all 3 seasons in time, but I did watch the first season. I blitzed through it pretty fast. I think it's really fun. It's been a while since I've had the chance to like binge anything, and you know, I think that Sex Lives of College Girls is a really fun comedic series, and it does have some like more a lot of obviously like romance. They definitely live up to the title though. I got worried sometimes when I was like, oh right, I shouldn't be watching this in class. I forgot. And then I think outside of that, I'm also trying to watch get back into Invincible Fight Girl. It's pretty much this new show on Adult Swim that's kind of like a throwback to early 2000s anime and Toonami with this one girl who wants to be a wrestler.
Oh.
Interesting.
You guys ever watch Love Island Australia?
No,
Ooh.
and I will not be watching Love Island.
I'll eventually watch
Just
it.
Have you been watching that?
Like very sparingly. If I get home really late and I'm with some friends, like that's just what we throw on.
Yeah.
It's kind of become like the tradition. It's
Wait,
really
I
funny.
had no idea. I just found out that those happen every day. Like they pump out the episodes
Every
a day.
day?
That's
Yeah.
Really?
They have that kind of work
crazy.
ethic.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
Maybe it's like just one of the series, but
That's insane.
Yeah, no, there's different series. There's
Yeah.
Australia,
Just US?
US.
Yeah. Maybe
I
it's the
found
US
out-
France,
specifically,
I don't know.
I found out recently that the Beatles wrote and recorded all of, I think, Sgt. Pepper, but I could be wrong, in a month. Wrote and recorded.
Wow.
I thought
And
you were going to
released
say in
in
the
a
Love
month.
Island, and I got ready to like.
Yeah, they totally.
freak
Well,
out.
they went to India, but they didn't go to Australia. But that sounds like a fun series, Tommy. Before we move on, Donovan, I know you were telling me about a movie yesterday or the day before that you were seeing. Did you get a chance to watch that?
Unfortunately, no. But I tried finding it on like my theaters, but I think it's taking like a bit longer to release in some of the main theaters. But I did want to see the Looney Tunes
Yeah.
movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, which focuses on Porky Pig and Daffy Duck. I think trying to repel an alien invasion. It's been
Wow.
so long since I've been hearing so much about this movie for about a year now. But I didn't get a chance to, see it.
Oh,
Interesting.
I hope
it's out though.
I don't know. I trust Donovan. Well, I hope you get a chance to see that, Donovan. And I'm so glad we all have been watching some great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Now on to the awards, as the Oscars are tonight at 7 p.m. The 97th Academy Awards, commonly known as the Oscars, will be live from the Dolby Theater in Hollywood and hosted by Conan O'Brien. The Oscars remain one of the most prestigious and widely discussed events in the film industry, celebrating the best achievements in cinema over the past year. So, who are our picks to win this year?
This is a
Okay.
crazy year, I feel.
I
'Cause
agree. We were
it's
talking
a-
about this a little bit before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strange array of movies that like I feel like most people have not seen. Like the only one is Wicked and Dune 2 really.
Well, that's kind of cool about it. It's like a good distribution of things people have seen, not in like people in like cult classics.
Uh-huh.
My personal pick is the current frontrunner actually right now, Honora. The hype going into that and like the headlines that would make if it were to like win, as like being a small indie movie about like a sex worker, like it's a really big like jumping point for like cinema. So I that kind of has my luck. Also, The Substance is the best movie of the year. Don't at me.
Is it like a Pretty Woman type of
Yeah, a
story
little bit.
situation?
Yeah, same story
Okay.
and like same bones.
I've heard the way they deal with tone shifts is really interesting.
It's really like compelling because usually I would be against it if it's like that seismic of a tone shift, but it's so natural,
Yeah.
and so funny that like I barely thought it. I was in the theater like. It was almost like a polygraph test. Like I had so many different reactions to everything. I was laughing kind of uproariously, and I teared up during the ending.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I adore Nora, genuinely.
I think that's the front runner right now, from what I
yeah,
hear.
for Best Picture.
For a
Right,
while,
for Best Picture.
it was the undisputed villain of this Oscars, Amelia
Yeah.
Perez. Then some stuff
Right.
happened.
It won't win.
You probably won't win.
Yeah,
I
it's not
agree.
even close. I mean, looking at like, scores and odds and based on some of the other awards this season.
I also think
it's-
from a PR standpoint, it would be an awful decision to
Yeah.
vote Amelia Perez.
Especially with what like Carlos Sofia Gascon has been tweeting,
Yeah.
and which is like downright deplorable stuff. Like, I don't think they're gonna be able to like
Yeah.
reasonably morally vote for them.
Yeah, and ever since the Golden Globes, a lot has come out about that movie. And just with the way it was made, and not a lot of people are kind of on board with it winning more, and more people are kind of on the hate train. So I kind of agree that it really won't win anything, but I definitely think Honora and The Substance. I think Substance will win some for like makeup.
Right
and
now, we're
costuming.
predicting Demi Moore to win Best Actress. She's
Okay.
kind of in like a race with Fernanda
I get that.
Torres, but like Demi Moore is kind of the legacy pick. I really hope they go with her.
So, who do we think Best Actor and Actress?
Actor, it's got to be Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah, genuinely. I mean, he had the most like soul crushing performance. The one thing about the burritos that's a little bit soured is like they have gone out because they've used some AI just to like enhance the accents, and that's like jury's out, and that's like a positive use AI or whatever. But like I think that has some ground to stand on because it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
So
You don't think Timothy Chalamet has a chance after winning the SAG award?
I don't know, man. I like Timmy C. I respect him. I call him Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
I like him, but like Adrian Brody, I think is more like reasonable, like doubt to win.
Side note: I found out that Timothy Chalamet is 29 yesterday.
What?
Yeah. I
Rose
feel
looks 22.
old, right? I thought he was way closer to my age. He's turning 30 soon, and that made me feel old.
That's crazy.
Also, he apparently earlier in February, I'm saying like it's February, it's March 2nd, everyone. He hosted SNL, and he was also the musical guest, and he sang Bob Dylan songs because of The Complete Unknown, which was cool. He was actually pretty good. I watched the episode yesterday or 2 days ago. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised at Timothy Chalamet singing voice, but he's almost 30.
That's actually insane.
I mean, I figure that he could sing pretty well on its own without probably the fancy accents given
Yeah,
A Complete Unknown. In terms of that, was I the only one who knew his real age?
I didn't. Although I did just remember that he was in Wonka and I saw Wonka. And he sang in Wonka, so I'm an idiot.
He also gets compared with Tom Holland a lot, who's around the same age.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess he was around my age when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
What's also crazy to me is that he's been around for so long, and this was like his first. Like, this is kind of touching into like the news breakup things didn't do, but like, it was his first award that was like huge.
Yeah.
Like from a major award show.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of shocking.
Can we call his SAG Awards a major award show?
I would like to.
I'm kidding.
Among the industry, I guess.
I know. In my head, though, I've had this debate with a lot of people, and I've been yelled at for this opinion. I think there are too many award shows, and the only ones I really care about are the Oscars, Tonys, Emmys, the Grammys. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, those are the main core
Those are the main ones.
Yeah.
Those should be the only ones.
Tonys.
Thank you. And the
EGOT.
Tonys.
Those are
EGOT.
like
What's an
publicized
An
awards.
EGOT is when Ariana Grande, I think, is like either has one or is like on her way. It's when you get like each award. So like you get an Emmy, you get a Tony, you get an Oscar. Yeah, you get a Grammy.
I should have known that.
Yeah.
I only learned that from High School Musical, the series. Thank you very much.
Okay. But yeah, I don't care about the other award shows. It's really those like 5.
They're like industry awards, so like you get them for recognition among your own people. So like, in some ways it means more, but like
it's very nice.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to build up the Guild Awards more because it's on Netflix now, the SAG Awards, and they try to make it the whole thing. But
I know someone that was there.
Really? Oh, that's cool. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
One thing I think is crazy this year is that there's no like best song nominee that really stands out. Like I don't know any of these songs. Like there's one by Elton John. That might be the closest I know.
No one saw that movie.
Which one?
The Elton John documentary.
I've seen it, but like you don't think of this song.
Does it
like,
have to be an
outside of the
original
context.
song?
It does have to be.
Okay,
an original
so
song,
all of Wicked wouldn't count because that was 2003.
right. And they were even considering not nominating Wicked for best score because a lot of it derives from the Broadway musical.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
he
it is
did.
nominated.
Steven Schwartz did redo a lot of it.
Yeah, I think it was changed enough that it qualifies.
I would agree with that.
But
then, aren't they supposed to perform that for like the?
Wait.
opening?
they will be. Both Ariana Grande
Yeah.
and
Wait.
Cynthia Erivo will be performing at the Oscars tonight.
Oh my god.
That's so exciting.
Yeah,
That's all I'm looking.
I
forward
think
to,
I
really.
think I think it's actually going to be a very entertaining Oscars. I think.
Yeah, let's talk about the ceremony a little
Yeah,
bit. We got
that's a good
Conan
idea.
O'Brien hosting the ceremony for the
I
first
love
time.
him.
They could not have picked a better choice to host.
I
by the way.
love him.
Genuinely.
I love Conan.
I
listen
think he
to
would
his
be my
podcast.
pick to host.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a dream host.
Yeah,
He's
he
so
kind of
endearing.
looks like the Oscar statue. It's perfect.
Hold him in your hand.
Yeah.
That's
So I think he's
amazing.
gonna be really funny. I think he's gonna keep it very like classy yet still entertaining, and I don't know. I'm just really excited for the ceremony, and definitely the Wicked performance is gonna be
I think
fun.
it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be funny. I'm very excited because I think knowing Conan, he's gonna have a couple of comedy bits. The cold open's gonna be a video of something stupid that I'm gonna laugh my butt off.
I hope he does a remote.
I hope he does a remote too. I'm so happy you brought this up.
Yes.
I love Conan remotes so much. I used to binge them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
He's like known for that.
Yes.
So maybe we'll see some of his old habits
I
coming
love
back.
those so much. But I would love more Conan. And I think he's gonna be really good. Before we move on, we have about a couple minutes left in this segment. Who are our picks for best feature film?
Ooh.
Let me look
Best
at the
picture.
nominees.
That's
Best
what
picture.
That's what it's
Okay,
called.
those ones I know.
All right, I have like
Best
10
picture.
different answers. You guys go first.
Tommy,
though.
go last.
Ooh,
Jamie, go
Okay.
I
first.
spilled my coffee.
Well,
I'm sorry.
We're gonna go
For only
clockwise.
seeing one of them, I'm going to pick the one that I've seen, which is Wicked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am also on that boat. I'm going to go with Wicked. However, I also think I would not be upset if Nora or The Substance won. I'm in the same boat as Tommy. Also, I think The Brutalist might have a little bit of a shot just because of
Winning the SAG award.
no, Adrian Brody's performance.
Yeah,
I think could win them an Oscar. But yeah, my vote is Wicked.
Yeah. I didn't watch a whole lot of these this year. But one that I did see that we haven't really talked about is Conclave.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, I was pretty into it. It's a very interesting drama about the story of how they pick the Pope. And it's very topical right now with everything going on there. But that might be
That's why I need to watch it.
That might be my pick of what I expect to win.
Yeah, I heard of Conclave. I really did want to see it though. It's a comedy movie, right?
No,
Heck no.
Okay.
It's very
Absolutely
much a
not.
drama.
Okay,
It is very
okay.
much a drama.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I had to do research when I was an intern at CFN for it. It's a little controversial, but it's realistic, and it's very, the performances are amazing. I've heard, and
Yeah, it's like very subtle. It's nothing like crazy, but like
Honestly, the way I describe it is like if Mean Girls took place in the Vatican.
yes,
that's hilarious. And I've heard jokes about that too.
It's so gossipy. It's
memes
actually
are crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Before we move on, real quick, Tommy, Donovan, Abby, your picks.
Okay. Honora.
Okay.
Like realistically, probably.
Okay. Donovan. Tommy, give Donovan the mic.
I want Dune Part 2 to win just because it feels like the big blockbuster of the year.
Yeah.
And I also think, with how much momentum like is brought to at least like Timothée Chalamet as well. Then again, too, he's got that in Complete Unknown for Best Actor too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abby?
I'm in the same boat as Jamie, so I'm going to say Wicked.
Yeah. It's a fun one. Also want to touch on real quick best animated features because these always get overlooked, and
that's
I
a good
love
idea.
animated features. The Wild Robot's my number one pick.
I agree.
To see it. I
agree.
wanted to see it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it.
so
I never got
good.
to.
Oh my god.
Go watch it.
I
It's
agree.
on Peacock. You can watch it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Watch Flow too.
Yeah, I hear
It's a
Flow's
Oh,
really good.
wonderful movie.
Inside Out too.
Inside Out. Yeah.
That was fantastic.
It'll be between Inside Out 2 and Wild Robot.
I
100%.
I
completely
think
agree
it's
with that.
Flow and
Yeah, honestly,
Wild
Flow is a
Robot.
really good
Flow
chance.
everyone's talking about right now. But
Yeah.
I think
Why
Wild
haven't I heard
Robot
of
might
it?
pull through and win it overall.
I
So,
think that might just because of Kit Connor though.
Yeah, you're
you
biased.
never know.
I
Never
am.
know. Well, I'm very excited for the Oscars tonight. You can catch them tonight on ABC and Hulu at 7 p.m. But we're going to hand it over now to our very own Abby Gibson to catch us up on some of the latest stories in the world of entertainment. So take it away, Abby.
Welcome back to Entertainment Newsbreak. I'm Abby Gibson, and here are this week's top stories. Marvel's special Daredevil Born Again will release its first season this Tuesday, March 4th. It will feature the Punisher and be exclusively streamed on Disney Plus as Netflix lost the rights to the Daredevil series in March 2022. Ayo Adibri, well known for her role in The Bear, is set to write and possibly star in a live-action adaptation of Barney. The film will be co-developed by A24 and 59% Productions, along with the IP owner Mattel Films. There's not a lot of information regarding the release date or the plot at this time. A new confirmation in the cast has been made for HBO's Harry Potter TV series. John Lithgow, known for his role in The Crown and Terms of Endearment, will be playing Dumbledore. The show is not expected to release until 2026 or 2027, with filming expected this summer. History was made at the SAG Awards hosted on February 23rd as Martin Short won his first SAG Award and Timothée Chalamet won his first major award. Short, aged 74, won the award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Comedy Series for his role in Only Murders in the Building. At 29, Chalamet is the youngest person to win the award for Best Actor. And that's all for this Entertainment News Break. Stay tuned for more entertainment news later in the show.
magic mirror. Who's the fairest of them all? Why, Shrek, of course.
Ah! Ew, Dad.
Ooh, Mommy like. Who's making this stuff?
Not me.
Whoa! This week, we had the Shrek 5 teaser trailer come out, which is something that we have been expecting for a while. We heard some news about this last year, I believe, and we finally got the teaser trailer for it. Did you guys see it?
It's huge news. Yeah. This has been like rumored since freshman year of high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, people have been talking about this forever. Everyone loves the Shrek franchise. You know, we had the first 4 movies, and now we finally have the 5th one coming after several years. Let me see how long it's been. It's been a while though.
I'm a bit of a Shrek story, and I used to print out fake posters for Shrek 5 and put them around my high school to like spread some kind of like joy or like at least like excitement for Shrek 5. I like Shrek.
Yeah. The last one came out in 2010, so it's been 15 years.
It has.
Crazy.
Yeah, nice.
That's crazy. I think like the really fun part for me is that it's gonna be easy to remember when it's released because it's on my birthday. So like,
oh really?
Birthday gift.
Oh, happy birthday! They just knew. They're like, it's Abby's birthday. We gotta give her Shrek.
Like guys, with Zendaya, like
Yeah, I'm personally really interested to see where you can go with this. I think DreamWorks has always been really good for the most part when it comes to making like sequels to movies, and I just think that Shrek itself, you can do a lot with just him now being a potential parent to like a bunch of teenagers to young adults who never really had to struggle as hard as he had to. I know a lot of people have been like a lot of people have been like disliking bombing it, but the animation looks fine. Puss in Boots and the Last Wish look a lot different from how it was originally, and everyone liked that. And then also too, they just look older, which makes sense. It's been 15 years.
Yeah. Well, that has been a point of contention, the way they look in this trailer.
I think there's a lot more to talk about, like the fact that TikTok is canon in Shrek now.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's like scrolling the mirror like
that's
his TikTok.
hilarious, though.
Like
that's funny.
Yeah, and like they kind of acknowledge the like meme culture behind Shrek, which I thought was kind of funny.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's always been Shrek's MO though, is like making fun of pop culture and that's just
exactly.
what's in right now.
And
And
it's just like a modern evolution of that.
Yeah.
I think Shrek is more relevant now than it has been in quite a while.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, because all of us are old now.
Yeah, and we talk about Shrek
We came out 25 years ago.
like to this day.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's really interesting. But what do you guys think of the animation style? I know.
I like it.
I like it.
I don't know why people are so like upset about it. It's fine.
I think the bigger thing is the new addition to the cast.
Yeah.
And
We
Zendaya.
have Zendaya joining as Shrek's
daughter.
Wow.
Which makes me think, didn't he have triplets?
He did.
Yeah.
Also, I saw this on Twitter, so like take it with like a grain of salt because I'm not 100% sure about this, but he had triplets. It's 2 boys and 1 girl. The girl is the only one that has blue eyes, yet the trailer, the girl has brown eyes.
Oh.
So like
So
there's
either a mistake or they just
continuity
had
there.
another kid and the 3 just went away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like I feel like they're not keeping strict to what was, because like there's very different design choices in how they're animating them now. So
I mean,
it could be part of that.
also too, like babies can like change eye colors sometimes. Like it's not,
That is true. Yeah.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Well, also this brings up questions like what happened to Fergus and Farkle? And yes, I know their names.
Were those their names?
Yeah, Zendaya's named Felicia.
I'm glad you know that.
No, but like, what happened to Fergus? Like, literally, like,
I mean,
they're not in the teaser. They're never acknowledged. They're like big parts of Shrek 4, and they're just not like acknowledged. Like,
I feel
bring
like
them.
they might be in the movie, but since it's not like Zendaya, they might just not be featuring them in this teaser trailer. You know,
It's possible.
But who would you want to play?
Fergus, Tom Holland, Farkle, The Rock.
That's amazing. We could also bring what's his name from How to Train Your Dragon?
Hiccup?
Yeah, what's the actor's name?
Jay Baruchel.
Bring Jay Baruchel back.
He's great.
Big
I like
him.
him a lot.
I don't know why he came in my head.
Right.
Probably because of Scottish.
It's a weird pick. Yeah, Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Working an awkward
yeah.
teenager.
Jonah Hill.
I see your vision.
Fun fact that I just thought of. It's a little sad of a fun fact, but Chris Farley was the original pick to play Shrek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I've seen the.
Wow, that's crazy.
There's like publicly released like concept art and like audio tracks of Chris Farley as doing the Shrek voice. It's weird and I hate it.
Yeah,
but it's
I also
fine, it's there.
I mean, iconic SNL cast member, one of the funniest people ever. but Michael Myers is much better choice.
Yeah, totally. He gets the voice down a little bit
The
more.
voice is so iconic, I feel
Absolutely.
like.
Yeah.
Get out of me, swamp.
That's like his go-to Scottish accent too. It's weird hearing him do it on like SNL in the 80s and 90s.
He's done it in like more movies too, like So I Met an Axe Murder.
Like movies that aren't for kids.
Yeah. And then he kind of translated it.
I think Eddie Murphy being in this again too is kind of crazy. Like he sounds exactly like he did in the old movies.
He doesn't skip a beat, genuinely.
No, it's crazy. He sounds perfect. But yeah. Any other thoughts on this movie?
Since we brought up Donkey, I'm so interested to see how his mutant dragon donkey babies are also there, because they're all going to be teenagers, young adults too now.
They'll probably be in it for like a minute, not even, and it'll be like a one-off joke.
Well, yeah, same with like Puss in Boots, because I know they established like by the end of that movie that he was going to be coming back to Far, Far Away. I just think it's inherently a little funny.
I'm kind of surprised they're taking such a big time jump here. I feel like this is one of the franchises that they would keep it in the same like realm where no one ages. But
yeah, that's fair, honestly. But I kind of didn't want them to pull like an Incredibles 2 where they like just pick up right where they left off, and it feels a little bit like forced. Yeah, and like the voice actors sound like cosmically older.
Why do you sound 10 years older? And why is the animation style so much different?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like they have kid voices, and then there's just adults playing
trying
kids.
to do kids.
Yeah, it's really weird. That's one of my biggest problems with Incredibles too. So like, I'm glad they didn't do that and like just straight up acknowledge that they aged. I think it's pretty commendable.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It's also, we have Toy Story 5 also announced.
Oh,
coming out in a few years. Do we feel like that's the same thing as the Shrek 5?
We just got a Toy Story 4. I don't know. Pixar doesn't know how to do sequels.
So here's the thing. I enjoyed Toy Story 4. I thought it was a nice little send-off for Bo Peep and Woody. They should have ended at 3. 3 on the porch. It's a perfect ending to Andy's story. I don't care about Bonnie. I'm going to be honest. I don't give a butt to...
Yeah,
I can't say what I was wanting to say on air. I don't care about Bonnie. I love that movie. Toy Story 3, first of all, is the GOAT of Toy Story movies. That's why I said it. And it's a perfect send-off to that franchise, and they should have ended there.
Yeah.
So I'm not on board with Toy Story 5.
The way I look at Toy Story is like, you got that trilogy of the story, and now everything after is just like little bonus movies.
Well, also we got Lightyear, which nobody saw.
Yeah, I saw it for free on a Disney cruise, and I'm happy I saw it for free because I did not like that movie, and I would have felt bad if I spent my own hard-worked money to see that movie.
Yeah, that was a strange one.
That was a movie. It happened.
It does exist, and they still talk about
but
it
like
for some reason.
Toy Story stock has never been lower. Are they really making like a Toy Story 5 now? I don't think people care as much anymore. Like Shrek is still relevant.
Well, Toy Story 4 was the highest grossing movie in animation for a while, I believe.
Really?
Jinkies.
Yeah. That's why people keep on going back to sequels. It's not really for story. It's for, well, we know it's going to make money.
Well, yeah, but
when
like,
you love a character, you go back to see them.
They're going to make 10 more Inside Outs.
You got to find the time to pull the trigger on a sequel.
They actually made a show.
Like the Batman 2.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. But it's an interesting one, Shrek 5. I'm kind of excited for it. Are you guys?
I'm not a big Shrek fan.
I'm excited for
it. Don't even remember the first. I probably haven't even watched more than the first.
I'm kind of in the opposite boat that I am in Toy Story 4, where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Shrek is just silly and stupid and can just go on forever.
I mean, I think you could... after The Last Wish, I'm a bit more receptive. I think Forever After is kind of just a pretty perfect movie. Also, I trust sequel baiting or just sequels for Shrek more so than a lot of other like DreamWorks franchises. I don't want another How to Train Your Dragon, for example, and I'm definitely fine with no more Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. I love Kung Fu Panda. They have a holiday special. I watch that every year in December. It's so good.
That's cute.
Yeah, I had to buy the DVD because it exists nowhere.
Real.
But yeah, I'm excited. Also, just real quick, do we think they're going to lean more towards adults for this movie or kids?
Probably adults.
Adults, yeah, totally.
We're all
because
old.
adults grew up with Shrek, and I think this is for the Shrek fan base.
If you were 5 when Shrek came out, you're 30.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's wild.
If you're in Shrek Junior in 6th grade and played Peter Pan, then it's for you.
Wait, you did Shrek Jr. in 6th grade?
That was a true story.
Did you do Shrek Jr. in 6th grade?
I absolutely did Shrek Jr.
So did I.
Whoa.
That's weird.
Wait, we gotta talk about that. You let your freak flag wave?
No, I was the captain of the guard, so I was like in 2 scenes, and I kind of just chilled.
I was one of the guards briefly as like an extra too.
That's crazy.
I did a pratfall.
That's crazy.
hilarious.
I didn't. I got to just, I don't know, stand there and say like 2 things. To
Michael, did you go to my elementary school?
No. You did what? Elementary
Sixth
school?
grade, elementary.
6th grade.
Yeah, it's elementary.
Oh, it's different per
Yeah,
district.
we're Long
I
Island.
was that was middle school for me. 6th grade.
On Long Island, for most schools, the way they do it is K through 5. Middle school is 6 to 8. High school is 9 to 12.
Oh yeah, okay. I've actually heard that. Now, I'm like from Connecticut. I think they do it differently. So it's 1 to 6 elementary, and then only like 7 to 8 middle.
This is why you don't have a hockey team anymore, Tommy.
Well, yeah, right.
That's
We make
good.
some really dumb decisions.
Well, on a related note, you could catch Shrek 5 in theaters on December 23rd, 2026.
Amazing transition.
I'm really excited to see it. But we're now going to hand it back over to Abby with another news break.
The American Music Awards will be coming back to our screens this year. The event, originally airing on ABC, had its contract expire but will now be airing on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. The show will air May 26 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's its first time with a spring date. Nicolas Cage is the oldest Spider-Man as he is casted at age 60. Spider-Man Noir has an expected release for 2025 or 2026 and will be premiering on MGM Plus and be available globally on Amazon Prime Video. A new live action of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, is officially rated R. This sets the first R-rated feature film for the franchise. With no set release date, the movie is being targeted to an adult audience. Sabrina Carpenter announced a continuation of her short and sweet tour with 17 new dates ranging 5 cities. Carpenter will be starting her European leg tomorrow. Carpenter will be at Madison Square Garden October 26th through November 1st. And that's all for this entertainment news break. Now let's get back to the movies.
Thank you, Abby.
I'm excited for Spider-Man Noir.
I need Spider-Man Noir. I was gonna say, I'm so excited. Nicolas Cage is my favorite actor ever.
Yeah, well, he's reprising the role, right?
Yes,
from voice acting.
Is it the same?
He's gonna do something crazy here. By the way, sorry. He's gonna like. He came from voice acting with Spider-Verse. Now he's coming as like a live action portrayal of someone he voice acted.
Yeah, that's
That's
so
cool.
That is, I really like that. Well, earlier in the show, we discussed our picks for the Oscars. But what about the rest of Hofstra's campus?
Ooh.
Well, our very own Jamie Yost went around campus and asked Hofstra students who they hope to see win an Oscar.
Hosted by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the Oscars are an annual award show to honor all the amazing work and talents that go into creating films. As one of the biggest award shows of the year, I wanted to know which films some Hofstra staff and students want to win the award for Best Picture. I went around campus to hear some Hofstra opinions. Which Oscar nominee do you want to win Best Picture and why?
I've heard great things about all of them, but from the ones that I've seen, I'm going to say probably Wicked. I think that it's really hard to do adaptations of musicals to film, and I think that they did a really great job with it.
In an ideal world, I would love for Wicked to win Best Picture, just because like I'm a lifelong fan of the movie, and I just like really resonated with it. But I don't think it's going to win. I think it might be either Anora or Conclave.
I'm really hoping that that Anora takes the win for Best Picture for the Oscars this weekend. Anora was such a good film. I ended up watching it in the theater with like 3 of my really close friends, and I was like, this is such a weird movie to be watching with friends right now. Like, there's so many weird scenes in this film, but it's just such a weird and quirky plot. Such a fun, like, goofy movie, honestly, but like so real at the same time.
I think it's gonna be between The Substance and Anora. Anora was pretty emotional. It was a film that hasn't been made before. The Substance was also really out there for the type of film. Like in 2024, we really haven't had that many films that explore visual effects the way The Substance did.
So the two Oscar movies that I'm the highest on winning Best Picture this year are Nickel Boys and Anora. I've seen a lot of the Oscar movies. This is like the one year where I feel like I locked in to watch most of them. And I feel like Nickel Boys and Anora were two of the most moving movies I've seen in like the past couple of years. So that's my personal take. I also really like Conclave. I thought it was super different. It was a 2-hour movie, but I felt like I was sitting there for like 4 hours and I wasn't tired of it. So those are my top 3 picks.
My choice for Best Picture is Anora, preferably the last half of it when it descends into chaos. That was my favorite. I also like Conclave. I thought that was pretty good. Complete Unknown didn't have much tension, in my opinion. But those are my top 3, I would say.
I want Dune 2 to win because, and I think the reason why it could win is because just from the acting to the set design to the special effects to the writing to the cinematography, all of it's new, all of it's pretty interesting, and I think that it definitely deserves to win based on all of that.
I think that The Complete Unknown is gonna win the Oscar. I think that there's been a lot of really good biopics, and this one especially, a way broader perspective of his life than a lot of other ones do.
So based on a lot of the past award shows, Emilia Perez has won a lot of awards for Best Picture, but hoping that doesn't happen. And I'm hoping that it's either Anora or The Substance, but also based on history, The Substance or horror movies don't really get a lot of wins for Best Picture. So I'm hoping that it is Anora because it was a very emotional movie with comedy and action and everything, and it was really well written. The performances were incredible, and the cinematography was also amazing. So I think Anora could be the winner.
I think Anora was just so beautiful. It was so artistic. I thought everyone did, like, all of the actors did just such an amazing job, and they fully committed, and it was so enjoyable to watch and to like really be immersed into the world, and just like, again, aesthetically beautiful. Like, it was just gorgeous to watch.
I think Wicked should take home that Oscar because it was schmaltzy and fabulous, and the singing was great, and the costumes were great, and I love Cynthia and Ariana.
My answer is Anora because I think it was probably one of the more ambitious films, and I don't think it's a movie that would typically win Best Picture, which I think the Academy needs right now is for a change in its culture and what they decide should win.
I do believe Wicked should win. I think the production quality was phenomenal, and obviously the star power and talent on it were really deserving of an Oscar.
So I think Wicked should win the Oscars movies, not because it's just like such a popular movie, but it's also like the work that was put into it, like the sets that they built, like the flowers that they bloomed. It's just like a masterpiece. We're moving into a generation where we're just using so much AI, so much technology. It doesn't seem real, and although it was so like fairy tale aspect, I felt like the world was real, and it was because they put in that aspect.
I would like Dune Part 2 to win really badly. I think the cinematography was phenomenal. I think the entire atmosphere and ambiance was crazy. My boy Timothée C, the GOAT, he killed it. And it was such a cool movie. The palette, the color palette, it was cinema. That is like what movies are meant to be. Denis Villeneuve, that man, that auteur of cinema is, bringing the new wave. I don't think it's going to win, though. Shout out to Nora, though.
I want Wicked to win Best Picture because I thought that the movie did a really good job of portraying the musical and the book, and I just thought that out of all the movies that came out that I've seen, it's one of the better ones.
I'm still here speaking on that one. I feel like not a lot of people saw it, especially because it's international, but it tells a true story. And I think that just any history is very important to the whole world, especially with what's happening now. Like watching that film in now times was like really, it makes you think like, what's gonna happen, man? So I wish more people could see that one. It's probably not gonna win. So I guess my contender would be The Substance because of just how visually beautiful it is. And as people are saying, like, horror doesn't really get it. But this, I wouldn't like fully consider horror. There's way more to it, and you really just gotta watch it, and it's enthralling.
I
I think that The Substance is going to win Best Picture. I think it was a great idea that came to life. I think Demi Moore did a great job in her role, and Margaret Qualley as well.
All of these films, including Amelia Perez, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Nickel Boys, I'm Still Here, The Substance, Dune Part 2, Wicked, Anora, and The Brutalist, have defined the year of 2024. And congratulations to all of these awesome films on their nominations for the Oscars. The Oscars will air live tonight at 7 p.m. on ABC.
Thank you, Jamie. Our final discussion today is all about Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy, who has led Lucasfilm since 2012, reportedly plans to find her successor by the end of 2025. Under her leadership, the Star Wars franchise has expanded significantly, introducing new films and series that have captivated audiences and sparked debate. As she approaches the end of her tenure, discussions are intensifying regarding her legacy, the direction of Lucasfilm, and the future of the Star Wars universe. So, who do we want to see take over Lucasfilm from Kathleen Kennedy? And how do we feel about her tenure as president?
I think this is funny because it comes after rumors that she was retiring by the end of the year. And so all of the Star Wars fandom were celebrating. They were ecstatic about this.
Yeah, that was the original discussion.
Pretty much all.
Yeah, it was universally praised. And then she's like, oh no, I'm staying. It was all lies.
That was the original thing, was like, Kathleen Kennedy's leaving.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that? And then literally like 24 hours ago, they released like, hey, I'm not actually leaving. Michael, you have to rewrite the script.
That's news.
Yes, that was news. So she's staying for now. She is actively looking for a successor, but at the moment she is still Lucasfilm for the foreseeable future. But who do we want to see take over for her? And I'll throw in another Disney giant who might be leaving in the foreseeable future. I'll throw in who do we want to see take over for Bob Iger.
Well, let's talk about that one in a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to touch on Lucasfilm first. I think there's two front runners here, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who have really been stepping up their game in the world of Star Wars. And I think they're the most obvious choices. One of them, I feel like Jon Favreau might have the edge over Dave Filoni just because he's more of an executive type than Dave is. But I'd love to see either of them take over. I think they have really good creative visions, and I think they would take Star Wars in a good direction.
That's a really good set of people, but I think that would cause like two branching pathways, because like Jon Favreau would be more like a Disney blockbuster filmmaker. He'd advance it. He'd he'd invest in like spin-offs, prequels, remakes. But like Filoni would be
because Star Wars isn't doing that yet.
No, but like they'd stay in that direction. But like Dave Filoni would be amazing to like new Star Wars storytelling. We'd get like new Rogue Ones and like new like kind of stories that we haven't gotten. Maybe another Clone Wars series if we're lucky, and then we eat our vegetables. Like I'm saying, we can get like a really good like boost in the arm to Star Wars if we get Dave Filoni.
Yeah, I mean, I think either way it would work out. I think how I would envision it, if Jon Favreau took over, he would be like, the president, and then Dave Filoni would be the creative, officer.
Yeah, and
I agree with that. I think I was thinking something similar.
Because I remember when Jon Favreau hopped on The Mandalorian, he really turned to Dave to figure out how Star Wars works, and he was very like, enveloping himself in the world through Dave's vision. So I don't know. I feel like either way it would be better than it is now. Let's just say that. But anyone else got thoughts on who might take over besides those two? I feel like there's no one really obvious that stands out.
I kind of agree with you. I think they're the front runners, and I like your idea of, this one's CEO and this one's the creative officer. And I think we've seen what they can do together, and they're both very creative, but also have like that producer brain. So yeah, I think they're the front runners for that for sure.
Yeah, and I really can't see them taking an outsider for this position, just because this world and the worlds of Lucasfilm, like Indiana Jones, it's really ingrained in the culture of this production company. So I think they'll hire internally, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, they all tend to hire internally.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it makes sense, but sometimes you need fresh blood.
Maybe George Lucas will come back.
Maybe
that's the direction.
How old is George Lucas
He's
now?
pretty old.
He's like in his 70s, I'd say, twilight years.
Let's do a little research on that. But yeah, he's getting up there. I mean, I don't think he wants to do anything.
I think he wants to. I think he wants to sit on
said he was
his
retiring
Empire
from
Strikes
Star
Back
Wars
money.
to focus on like creative projects. He hasn't made anything since 2005. But like,
didn't he have Red Tails?
Red Tails?
Red Tails? Is that not the name of that
what's
movie?
Red Tails?
It's like an airplane movie.
Oh yeah, like a doc. Oh no, it wasn't.
It wasn't a doc.
It was like based
like
on
a
true story.
World War II.
Yeah.
And what about although I don't know if you worked on that, there was that BFG movie that I thought Lucasfilm made.
That was Spielberg, right?
Was that
I think it was Lucas.
Strange Magic? Strange Magic.
The Big Friendly Giant?
No, thinking of a different
No,
movie.
all right,
Strange Magic.
Let me look
Didn't
that up.
Lucasfilm make
I wanna
Strange
confirm
Magic?
that. I remember him walking in the background of some random science documentary I saw in my middle school. And I was like, is that George Lucas?
No, it was Albert Einstein.
No, legitimately, like he stared at the camera and went into a building. And I was like, is that George Lucas? I had to look it up. He was on Letterboxd for it.
That's
in the background.
crazy.
George Lucas is 80 years old, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
That's not, no, yeah, I could see that. That's not
He's
that
doing
bad.
pretty good for
I mean,
him.
that-
Yeah, genuinely.
He doesn't look like it.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah. What would we want to see next from Lucasfilm with whoever takes over? What Donovan's got some strong opinions here.
Star Wars. What isn't a strong opinion?
That is true.
I'm not gonna act like I'm a big fan of the Star Wars fan base sometimes, or just the franchise as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But I've watched a couple of entries. I feel like personally we could lean into two different directions.
Yeah.
One, I hope that we get to see more animated projects from Star Wars. I feel like
I agree.
animation has always been Star Wars is like they go together so well, and it's very unfortunate that like outside of projects that kind of like directly follow the Clone Wars, we've only really been focusing on Star Wars Visions, but that barely gets marketing.
and it's not canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other thing is, look, I get it. They weren't the most popular and they're very controversial. I want more movies set after like Rise of Skywalker. Like
I agree with
the
you.
sequel trilogy.
I agree with you.
Well,
There's a
that's
lot
in the
of
works right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
like there's just a lot of naturally untapped ground, and it would be better than to have to try and go for like decades of continuity to make sure that like everything fits and lines up just right.
Yeah.
And it's like a new playground. You could do almost any story with that.
Yeah. I think that's what they tried with the Acolyte, which didn't work out so well. But hopefully it could work out better in the future. And I know we touched on the idea of a new Disney CEO with the Bob Iger stepping down at the end of next year, I believe. Who do we think is going to take over for that?
Josh D'Amaro.
Yeah, I think he's a good front runner.
I agree.
I think it's harder for Parks people to get it after what happened with Bob Chapek. So he's really got to prove himself.
Yeah.
But Josh D'Amaro is such a cool guy. I love that guy.
Well, just bring Michael Eisner back.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah. Get someone to captain the sinking ship.
Somehow Michael Eisner
crazy.
returned.
Michael Eisner.
Wait, basically Palpatine.
That's
yeah.
crazy. Michael Eisner gets too much hate.
I like Michael Eisner.
I like
think he
Michael
did a
Eisner
great
deserves
job with
every
the
single ounce of hate he's ever gotten.
No.
Don't have
The company grew
The
so
company
much.
would have. We wouldn't have Disney today if it wasn't.
Yeah,
for Michael Eisner.
the company grew so much under him. Like he gets way too much hate.
Yeah, I know.
Bring
Anyway,
him back. He's still alive. Like that's what
He's
shocks
still
me.
alive.
He's still around and he doesn't
he's
talk.
not that old, is he?
He's pretty up there.
He's not that bad. I think he's like 70.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's definitely interesting to see where this is going to shake up for Lucasfilm and Disney. But Michael, I know we had some news this week that you wanted to touch on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we need to address two Hollywood deaths that have happened in this past week. Both Gene Hackman and Michelle Trachtenberg, whose contributions to the world of entertainment have left indelible mark, both passed away this past week. Gene Hackman was a distinguished actor renowned for his versatility and commanding presence. He passed away at the age of 95. He and his wife, Betsy Arkawa, were found deceased in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home on February 26th, 2025. Hackman's illustrious career spanned over 4 decades, during which he delivered unforgettable performances in films such as The French Connection and Superman. Michelle Trachtenberg, a talented actress known for her dynamic roles in both television and film, passed away at the age of 39. She was found in her New York City apartment on February 26th, 2025. Trachtenberg began her career at a young age, capturing hearts as the titular character in Harriet the Spy. She gained further prominence with her role as Dawn Summers in the cult classic series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and later as Georgina Sparks in Gossip Girl. The Screening Room and WRHU sends their condolences to the family and friends of both pop culture icons.
Yes, sending our love to their friends and family. But now to wrap up the show, there's always so many new things coming out each week, and so we want to catch you up on some of the things to look out for in the week ahead, and our very own Donovan Ellis took a look at some of the movies and TV shows coming out with this week's Tune In This Week.
Greetings. The name is Donovan Ellis of the Screening Room, and right before we enter into full Oscar mode, I thought it'd be time to talk about some of the hottest shows and movies which will be cropping up on your screen in the next week. First up is the long-awaited revival/continuation of Disney Plus's Daredevil Born Again. Referencing the legendary comic book story of the same name, Born Again lives up to the title by having Matt Murdock reclaim his superhero mantle as the devil of Hell's Kitchen to battle the criminal kingpin Wilson Fisk. While there have been many reshoots and restructuring in its production history, Born Again seems to take the name from Frank Miller's iconic comic very seriously, as the cast is getting brought back for a second go-around. Combined with new showrunner Dario Scampane, and it seems we're going to be on a ride that's hella fun. The hellfire doesn't stop there, though, as we turn our attention to the upcoming movie Fire Department Inc. by Colin C. Hudgens. It's an independent 78-minute documentary that features the story of a suburban firefighter labor union who has to fight for their right to firefight when the village mayor announces that their services are going to be privatized. From that small spark erupts a 5-year-long legal battle which will hold the country's labor laws into question. Swinging from the west to the east for a little bit, we have a new Netflix original coming out next Friday called When Life Gives You Tangerines by Kim Won-seok. Set in a 1950s South Korea, Tangerines focuses on A-soon and Gwon-sik as the two fall in love throughout their daily life across the 4 seasons. With the title meaning thank you for the hard work in Jeju's language, I'm sure there's going to be something as sweet as citrus trapped inside this story. Finally, to round us off, we go from the past into the future as we focus on the launching of Mickey 17 by Dee Gardner, Jeremy Kleiner, Bong Joon-ho, and Do Hoi Choi at March 7th. Based on the titular novel, our titular character is an expendable, a man tasked with getting cloned over and over again to help to explore distant worlds. However, when Clone 17 accidentally gets left behind for 18, this creates a mishap where the two Mickeys must find a way to hide and survive from their superiors or risk a permanent end. Either way, this has been Donovan Ellis of the Screening Room, and I hope to see you another time. After all, there are always more stories to tell.
Well, that wraps up this week's show. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been The Screening Room on WRHU. Be sure to tune in to our show every Sunday at 10 a.m. only here on 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University. But until then, just keep swimming and have a great week, everyone.
Have a good one, guys. Enjoy the Oscars.